Right. Good morning, everyone. Melissa here. I wanted to share a couple things before I head to work. So I have another hike that I'm doing, a morning hike, unless I get a ride from the neighbors. I'm way up here in a campground, no street light last night, so I didn't realize that. So a neighbor gave me a ride. I got home safe. Hey, I just wanted to say a couple things here. Life is short, guys. Life is short. Don't let things in life or what happened prevent you from really just reaching back out to people. So I've been running into people lately. I ran into someone at Old Home Day, an old classmate. I had not seen him since like 8th grade. I mean, it just blew my mind. I was trying to remember him. I'm like, I know the name. I'm trying to remember the face. I knew like if I could picture the face, I would connect it better. But yeah, definitely ran into another family I knew from school. Old Home Day was great. I ran into a cousin recently, caught up on stuff. I ran into a teacher yesterday, one of my former teachers, and I'm just like, no way, right? No way. Could this really be her, you know? I hadn't seen her since I think 8th grade. And so we started talking and it was just great. So, I'm here alone right now in this home, and I am a people person. And I don't think I want to live alone. I'm trying to make a lot of decisions right now, guys, because this is a huge transition for me. I have always been around people, and then I've always been around my family. Even the time that I did move out, again, I moved out with my husband in Concord, and then we went back home, and then I moved out on my own. And even that short time on my own, I was right down the road from family. I mean, I've always had people in my life, and I'm like, I don't think I want to live by myself. Like, I'm here by myself, and it's quiet, and of course there's neighbors and stuff, but I don't think I want to live alone. I've got a lot of decisions to make. So anyways, we caught up. I'm a people person. I don't require much to live on. I can live on nothing, but I am into people. And I do have to have time to myself to do research and, have time to get refreshed, but I am a people person. So she's like, "Do you remember the 8th grade field trip to York Beach?" I'm like, "Oh my goodness, yes, I remember that." And I said, "And it was raining out." She's like, "I don't remember the rain." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." And I do, because we were freezing. We were freezing and we still went in that water. And it was so cold. And we didn't care. We had so much fun together. And then, so she remembered me. She's like, "You still have your thick hair." And I'm like, "Yup." And I said, "Do you remember Ben May?" She remembered him quicker than she remembered me. And I said, "I ended up marrying him." And she's like, "No way." And she's like, "I have to look back at my yearbooks." And I'm like, "I don't have my yearbooks. My mom has them all. I need to get some copies." And we just had so much fun. And I said, "I remember the globe, the paper mache globe we made." She remembered that. That was a fun project. She said, "Do you remember the egg project?" And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, I completely forgot about that." So one of the things that we had to do, and I wasn't good at it, was we had to take this egg, and I think I cracked mine like right away, if I remember, and take care of it and see how long we could take care of it. And I've always been rough with stuff, and so I think I cracked my egg right away. But she was telling me about another kid that made a house for it, and we were supposed to see how long we could take care of that egg. And it was just it wasn't hard boiled, right? Because that would defeat the purpose. So it was just this egg, and we were in charge of it like it was a baby. And that's a good lesson, guys, especially with my pro-life channel. That's a good lesson to teaching kids, to take care of something when they're younger. So we just had a really good time catching up. And I said, oh, I saw, Mr. So-and-so, one of my teachers from Epsom. I have memories of this, memories of that. We had such a good time reminiscing, and I'm just so thankful. I saw her, and then I'm thankful I saw some other people. And one of the things in life is, just whatever the problem was, just forget about it. Life is short. Like, I had someone at work who, my boss is like, what happened, at work? And I'm like, oh, no big deal. Just, I kind of played it down. This happened. Well, what happened? So he wanted to know. Now, everybody deals with things differently, right? And I'm like, well, he was kind of talking down to me, so I kind of, used his same philosophy against him. He kind of picked on me. And we had a conversation. I didn't even know what the conversation was. I'm like, I don't understand your question because it didn't even make sense. And he was looking for a way to nitpick at me, one of the guys over there. And so I used he's like, how come you don't know this now? You've been here 2 weeks. And he was saying it, and he said it in a different way. It's a long story. And I said, oh, you never make mistakes, do you, right? And it's not that I didn't know. It's just it was a different situation that was called for a different solution. And then, he went on and he was rude to me. And so I had went up to him, and he had said there was something he didn't know. And I said, why don't you know that? You're a manager. You ought to know that by now. And, I kind of gave him a taste of his own medicine. And my boss is like, well, that doesn't make it right. Well, I didn't say anything because you want to be wise and not argue with your boss. But morally, that's debatable. Everybody deals with things differently. I was talking to somebody who's like, when I have a confrontation, I'm very quiet. I don't say anything because I know my weak points, he says. He says, I know my weak points. I know where my triggers are, so I don't say anything. That is very smart, to know thyself, right? And then I tend to be, if somebody's very confrontational with me, I'm not afraid to, not that it's arguing, but I'm not afraid to set those boundaries in place, right? To make sure it doesn't happen again. So everyone deals with things differently. And so morally, I don't know that we can really sometimes say two wrongs don't make a right. And it's not even making it a right sometimes. Sometimes it's just, putting someone in their place so that you can get along. So anyways, but whatever, in general, guys, whatever someone had a problem with years ago or whatever it was, let it go. Let it go. Life is short, and it's good to be in New Hampshire, to catch up with family, to catch up with friendships, to catch up with people. I'm seeing a lot of people. I saw someone from church. I'm seeing a lot of people that I know up here, which is really good because I am a people person. So just making a lot of decisions. I gotta head to work. I've got a morning hike unless I get a ride with someone again. But even last night was an example that I usually don't deal with things on my own. I'm usually always leaning on people in life, and you shouldn't have to deal with things alone in life. So that's what I got for now. Just let bygones be bygones. Okay, thanks for joining me, guys.